Good afternoon or good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching, folks. This is the Basketball Champions League, and we're coming at you from Russia, Krasnoyarsk, and the game in Group A between Enisey Krasnoyarsk and Dinamo Sassari. And make no mistake, this is a vital game for both of these teams as they look to stay alive in this competition and get into that top four, which is going to be easier said than done. Both of these teams right at the bottom. Dinamo Sassari and Enisey are 2-4 each. This is already what we've seen happen in Group A. UCAM Murcia winning at Juventus Utena by 10, and also Hapoel Holon winning over Enisey Baskets Oldenburg by 4. Unbeaten Monaco will host Pinar Karšiaка in a top of the table clash also today. That'll be later today. But right now, our focus is on Enisey Krasnoyarsk and Dinamo Sassari, as these two teams, Dinamo 7th place, Enisey 8th, both with the 2-4 records, and needing a spark in their Basketball Champions League season. Well, you can see right there, right at the bottom of the table. The good news is that both of these teams have time to turn things around. You can see that one win would pull them level with UCAM Murcia in 4th place. So still all to play for, and it's all about coming out, setting the tone, and playing good basketball. We've seen other bottom of the table clashes already. We saw that yesterday, and we saw Gaziantep hosting Elan Chalon in a vital game for both of those teams. Elan Chalon won it, so they improved to 3-4, and Gaziantep lost and dropped to 2-5 in Group B. So the roster for Dinamo Sassari, who do you want to talk about? Why don't we talk about Scott Bamforth and Darko Planinic, number 4 and number 6, and number 20, Levi Randolph, no doubt, and Achille Polinar as well, the Italy international who had a big game at the weekend. These guys, I think, have perhaps underperformed a little bit. They've actually played well in some games that they have lost, but they have not been able to get the big wins that they needed. So Enisey Krasnoyarsk, Zabian Dowdell, Anthony Hilliard, Matic Rebec are big important players. Denis Zakharov, Octavius Ellis, the list goes on, and all of these guys need to step up now and be counted as they go after a big win. So what has been happening with these teams in this competition so far? Enisey winning their opener, Enisey Baskets, and it looked like everything was going to be a great rosy season, 89-86, but then they lost at home to UCAM Murcia, 68-62, and that was followed by a 16-point defeat at Monaco. Now, Enisey bounced back and won at home over Juventus Utena. There's Federico Pasquini in the Basketball Champions League for the 2nd straight year with Dinamo. But then after that, Enisey fell at Unet Holon in Israel, and then they lost at Pinar Karšiaка 97-81 before the international break. So they're back, and hoping that the international break has done them well. Oleg Okolov is the coach of Enisey Krasnoyarsk. You saw him just get off the bench, and he understands the significance of this basketball game for his team, as do these fans. So the Dinamo Sassari fans being players rather being introduced. For Dinamo Sassari, we talked about already with Enisey what their games have been like. Well, for Dinamo, they lost at home in their opener, 88-87 to Pinar Karšiaка. Then they lost at home to Enisey Baskets Oldenburg, 83-76. So that's already 2 narrow defeats. They followed that up with an 83-78 win at UCAM Murcia. And that was on the back of a terrific Bamforth performance. Dinamo Sassari then crashed to a heavy defeat at home against Monaco. They lost at Juventus Utena 90-85. That was a tough pill to swallow. However, right before the break, they got a big win at home, 98-84 over Unet Holon. So both of these teams, again, coming into this contest at 2-4. So the Dinamo Sassari players have been introduced, and the Enisey players are going to be introduced as well. Now, leading the way for Enisey Krasnoyarsk is from a statistical standpoint. Now, Dadel's only played a couple of games, so he's back in the frame tonight, injury having kept him out. Statistically, you've got Hilliard, who has been playing a lot of minutes, as well as Brahimho. Suleiman Brahimho has been averaging in the Basketball Champions League almost 28 minutes per game, and Hilliard almost 27 minutes per game. And you can imagine those guys being on the court a lot. They're averaging a lot of points. Hilliard at 17.7 points per game, and Brahimho 12.3, and also 7 rebounds per game. So Hilliard has averaged 5.8 rebounds per game and 3.7 assists. And the question, who else is going to step up and help these players? Shooting the basketball from deep. This is a team that hits about 1 out of every 3 attempts. Enisey Krasnoyarsk. And the referees today, Janis Chaluk from Poland, Alexander Milojevich from former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and Andris Ankrogers from Latvia on the left. So both teams going through their final paces. For Dinamo Sassari, they have been shooting the ball from deep at a 42% clip. Now they're going to start with Sean Jones, Achille Polinara, William Hatcher, Sean Pierre, and Scott Bamforth. And there's Pasquini. Pasquini is going through his mind the final preparations. And for Enisey, it'll be Brahimho, Rebets, Zakharov, Ljuric, and Kanijin. And Coach Okulov, no doubt, has the wheels turning inside his head as well. Now, these are teams that are both obviously have a lot on their minds in the domestic fronts, as well as the Basketball Champions League as they try to advance in the competition. So in terms of looking at them in their respective domestic campaigns, we'll start with in Italy, where Dinamo Sassari play in the Liga Basket. And Dinamo Sassari are not in the top 8. Excuse me, they are in the top 8 at number 6 with 5 wins and 9 defeats. And for the VTB United League, which is where Enisey play, they are struggling at 1-5, so they're down in 11th place. So again, this is an opportunity, you have to say, for these teams to turn things around and to get a spark in their seasons. And of course, Dinamo Sassari in much better shape in their domestic league. And don't forget, they had a rough old time last season at the start of the Basketball Champions League, and they were able to rebound and advance to the postseason. So you can see the players listening to the final instructions. So the players coming out on the court. And I believe we're going to have a minute of silence. We had it yesterday for the late referee, FIBA referee, Gianluca Mattioli. So the players will be coming out, and we'll honor the memory of Mattioli. He was a respected international basketball referee, and he sadly passed away a few weeks ago. He was responsible for FIBA 3x3 refereeing. He officiated in Italy in the Liga A, so these Dinamo Sassari players knew Gianluca, as well as he also worked as well as most in the most prestigious European basketball competition. So Gianluca Mattioli highly contributed to the Basketball Champions League officiating and being a part of it from the very beginning. So this is coming over the loudspeaker right now, over the tannoy in Russian, the players and the coaches and the fans being reminded of Gianluca Mattioli for a minute's silence in his honor. So that was in honor of Gianluca Mattioli, the great FIBA referee who passed away a few weeks ago. So we are underway, folks. This is the Basketball Champions League. We're in Krasnoyarsk, Russia, and Enisey Krasnoyarsk win the opening tip and then get into no man's land, get rejected early on. So a good start defensively for Dinamo Sassari. Hatcher has it. Puts up a three and nails it. William Hatcher. Well, he raised a lot of eyebrows last season with Partizan Belgrade, and that paved the way for a move to another Basketball Champions League team, Dinamo Sassari. Those two teams faced each other. That was Zakharov, by the way, who had his shot rejected at the beginning by Sean Jones. And Zakharov misses from the free throw line. So shaky start for him. Bamforth reads the defense. Bounce pass inside. Polonara puts it up with the left hand and banks it in. Rebec played for Slovenia. World Cup qualifiers. Now Bramho. And from the corner, off target. And now Dinamo Sassari looking to go even further ahead, but William Hatcher's pass, a little careless, had it knocked away, and then he had to commit the foul to stop the break. So that was Rebec who came up with the steal. Five to nothing, Dinamo Sassari, minute and a half into the contest here in Russia. Zakharov tries another one and misses. Clangs off the iron. think they need to go to plan B next time down the floor. Inside, and the strong move doesn't finish. Sean Jones. Rebets goes to his right. Now he backs up behind the line. Maybe a little bit of a mismatch being guarded by Polonara. Decides to hand it off to Zakharov. And he tries to get it to Bremho. Ball knocked out of bounds with 2.3 seconds on the shot clock. And Bremho gets the mid-range jumper up. Jones with the rebound. Now Bamforth goes in, puts it up, and it's good. Silky smooth, folks. One of the best players, in my opinion, in this competition. Bamforth. Certainly offensively, he's got all the moves. So coming up closer to the 3 minutes into the contest, and Enisey still looking for their first basket. Zakharov swings it to Rebets. I think that pass was intended to go into the corner, and Kanyajan collected it, went up and missed. Polonara steps up, left-handed shot, misses badly, but Jones there for the rebound and the putback. And Okolov has to call a timeout here early to try to wake up his team. They've fallen behind. They're in a 9-0 hole. So you see the coach is a little bit hot under the collar with the lack of execution from Enisey. So coming out of the timeout, Enisey, see if they can get a better shot, a better look. Bremho has it. Now Dowdell into the game. Into the corner, Bremho follows up his missed shot, goes up and misses again. Sean Jones with the rebound. Bamforth. Well, there's two explosive guards on the court for Dinamo. And inside the pass, and that is very good attack from Dinamo Sassari, and that's perhaps a lesson for Enisey. I mean, you're struggling to get the high percentage shot, and good things will happen. Sean Jones goes to the line for two. First one is good from Jones. And he converts both opportunities. So the hole gets a little bit bigger for Enisey. Bremho to Zakharov. Now the dump, and Kanyajan fumbles it away. Three-pointer's good from William Hatcher, right at the end of the shot clock. Now Bramho has it. And loses control of it out of bounds. And it is just a horror show right now for Enisey Krasnoyarsk. Good defense from Jones. Now the dump again, and oh, the two-handed jam from Mr. Jones. (16-0). Goodness me. William Hatcher called for the reach. And this start to the game is not what the doctor ordered for Enisey Krasnoyarsk, for sure. Well, you have to remember that when Enisey won against Juventus Utena, they fell behind in a big way and came back and won. So maybe they're going to try to repeat that. Three-point attempt is no good. And Enisey will keep it. They trailed by 21 points with 6.5 minutes remaining, and they were still down 15 with 2.5 minutes to go. But Enisey basically rose from the dead and shocked Juventus Utena. That was, again, back on October 31st. So it might end up being a similar comeback if they're going to win this game. And finally, nope, Canigan doesn't make it, but he'll go to the line for two. Enisey players looking like they're not on the same page. They want to get on the same page. And finally, you can hear the applause. It took a while to get on the board, but as they say, better late than never. 5.5 minutes it took for Enisey Krasnoyarsk to get on the board, and Canigan, with that contribution, will now go to the bench, and Enisey will try to spark themselves into life with a little bit of full court pressure. Spissu into the game, number 0. Here he is. Now Pierre puts up a three-pointer. The Canadian. 19-2. And the shot inside, the follow from Ellis. No. Bramho gets it back and puts it up and in. That was a good sign for a recovery from Enisey. They can start getting active on the offensive glass. But they need to play defense at this end, and haven't seen much of it so far. Polonara fouled up high. Zavaruev. Pierre puts up another three, and it's good. What a weapon he's turning out to be. He can go inside, but he can also drill it from deep. Bramho gets inside, misses. Sean Jones couldn't quite get hold of it. Dowdell over to Hilliard. Well, Hilliard, here he is, launching one. Coach Okolov waiting a long time to get his big score in the game. And Dowdell gets inside, misses. Danforth couldn't chase it down, so Dowdell gets the rebound and puts it up and in. Well, the game of basketball, 40 minutes long, so a long way to go. And the foul by Zavaruev on Bamforth is number 3 on Enisey. Tell you what, Dinamo Sassari have come a long way from home to play this game. They would like nothing more to leave with a victory. Put them in a good frame of mind heading into their weekend, and also here in the midpoint of the regular season, the Basketball Champions League. Going for their 3rd win, both of these teams. Oh, Spisu fumbles it away. And Ellis collected it, hands it off to Dowdell. Dowdell, a little shake and bake. Oh, wow, what about that one? Can you say one-on-one? He decided to take matters into his own hand. Back to a 14-point deficit now. Darko Planinic in the game. Comes up. Spisu launches one. It's an air ball. And now Federico Pasquini is going to get a timeout. Brahimho for 3. And that is indeed a signal that this team is finally awake and finding a little bit of rhythm. 22-11. Pasquini brings his guys back over to the bench to have a word. He led by 18. Now the lead is 11. So the early numbers, not good for Enisey, certainly. Much better for Dinamo Sassari, but remember, it's a 40-minute game. And Enisey, as they showed against Juventus Udine, have it within themselves to pull off a remarkable comeback. And would it be remarkable to come back from an 18-point deficit early? Not really. I mean, more and more you see it in basketball, these big streaks. But Dinamo Sassari fans would certainly expect, if their team were to jump out in front by 18 points, to bring home the W. So it's all depends on this team in the white, how much they're going to come out and fight, and also how badly the Dinamo Sassari want it. Now coming out of the timeout, Spisu catches the inbounds pass and brings it up the floor. DeVecchi also in the game. And nice move by Pierre. And again, folks, you can always see, you should see better execution coming out of the timeout. And that was flawless. Got the ball inside. Pierre went up strong. Dowdell. They swing it. Zavaruev. Oh, nice runner. Pierre going to work, passes to Planinic, and the Croatian just a short little jump hook. I love his game. He's just terrific. Not spectacular, but solid. Dowdell gets to the line, passes it back outside. Zavaruev. And Planinic called for a foul on Ellis for wrapping his arms around him on the box out. It's a call that you see more and more in basketball. 7 seconds on the game clock, 7.2 seconds. See if Enisey can finish the quarter on a high. Well, they get open. Hilliard puts up the jumper. It's good. Planinic inbounds it. Shot clock winding down. Game clock, rather. And I don't think. Oh, is it going to count? They're going to have to look at it, folks. But I don't think so. It looked like it may have come just a little too late. And Spisu shakes his head as if to say, no, guys, I don't think so. Meanwhile, nice garb being worn by Rokstepchevich over there, those trousers. Look at this. I couldn't see the lights. Anyway, 26-15. You couldn't see the lighting on the backboard until he'd released it in that one replay. So I think it's not going to count. Well, those must be team shorts, in fact. Sorry, team trousers that Stepchevich has. So I thought they might be Christmas. So there again is the replay. And when you look at the backboard, you can see that lighting, that red square that goes all the way around the backboard. That is there to help. Here again. Yeah, it was on for an eternity, that light. So that was way after. So they're not going to count it, but still, it was fun to watch go in, wasn't it? Enisey struggling shooting the ball, as you can see. Dinamo Sassari much better, but they did lead by 18 points, and Enisey have been able to shave 7 points off the deficit. Here it is again. Look at the backboard at the other end. When does it go off? Still isn't off. Now it's on, and you can see he just left his finger, his hands. So it's not going to count. So second quarter action underway here in Krasnoyarsk, Russia. And I believe it reaches, is it on Dowdle? Yes, it is. No, it's just fighting through the pick by Darko Planinic. And now an unsportsmanlike foul has been called on Enisey, on Ellis. He's having a rough 10 seconds. Watch this. He goes past him. And it was just what looked almost like a punch from behind. And Planinic is a big, strong guy. He can take it. So the first one is good. And the lead now goes back to 13, and that was a big mistake by Enisey. Inside it goes, and this time they don't get the basket, so they don't fully capitalize on that trip down the floor. And the Powell, what a shot from Dowdle. Scores, puts it high off the glass. And now boxing out, the foul called on Planinic. So he's had a foul boxing out on the defensive end, and then he was trying to get position on offense. So Enisey with a chance to get it down to single digits. Jump shot from Hilliard off, and however, foul has been called. Grabbing the shirt on Dinamo Sassari, so they'll keep it down at this end. And the drive again. Oh, he is just tough, isn't he? This was Hilliard, but both he and Dowdle going to the putting the ball on the deck and getting to the basket, and they do not look flustered. They think they're going to come back and win this game. And he stepped out of bounds. So Levi Randolph comes in, turns it over. Or no, was he called for the foul for clearing out? No, just said he stepped out of bounds. So Bamforth comes back into the game to try to calm things down for Dinamo Sassari. So Alexander Gudemak comes into the game for Ellis. Now Dowdle gets some space. Bounce pass inside. Oh, nice touch pass from Gudemak. Or finished by Gudemak. The pass. Try to figure out who made that pass. Anyway, Sean Jones goes to the other end and can't get it to go. It's just a 7-point lead for Dinamo Sassari, and you can see that Enisey Krasnoyarsk have the bit between the teeth. However, Gudemak goes in, barrels into the defender, knocks him down, and is called for the offensive foul. Although I have to say Hatcher went down easily. Maybe he clipped his feet. And pass, and Sean Jones gets it, goes up, and earns a trip to the line again. First one is good. Saw Beerstart Tenerife win a real tough game last night Or at least they thought it was going to be tough. They won it quite handily in the end in Group B against Neptunus Klaipėda. That was billed to real battle between two high flyers. And some interesting results coming up in the Basketball Champions League. Virstar Tenerife may be the team to beat again. Dowdle, the left-hander is good. Boy, he has really ignited this comeback, and now it's a six. Oh no, it was a two-pointer, so it's a 5-point deficit. No, it was a 3, excuse me. It was 29-21. And now an offensive foul called by Auenkrogers on William Hatcher. And he just kind of slid into Gudomak. You can see that he kind of just like shuffled over a little bit to make sure he can make contact with him. Six and a half minutes to go in the first half. Rebets back in the game. Now the pass down low. And Spisu raises his hand to say, I'm the guilty party. Pass into the corner. Three-point attempt, way off, but the offensive rebound and putback is there by Rebets, and he is fouled. Goodness me. And another foul called on Spisu. And with this, it can be a 2-point deficit. What a comeback from Enisey. And they've done it so quickly as well. Still 6:18 to go in the second quarter. It's a tale of two quarters for these two teams. Sassari already over the limit, and Polonara puts the ball on the deck and goes hard to the basket. Looks like he might be a solution. Looked impressive on this drive. First one is good. And second one is no good. So 3-point game. And Sassari suddenly, they've not just lost the initiative. Oh, now this will be big. Levi Randolph reaches in, comes up with a steal. Goes hard to the basket and tries to score with the left hand. Dachon Pierre back in the game as well. Look at Pasquini. He knows there's no such thing as an easy game in this competition. And that was Gudomak defending, and then Pavlov battling for the rebound, and the foul was called on Pavlov. So Sean Jones misses the first one. Second one is good, so it's up to a 4-point lead. And long shot that time from Zakharov, short. Boy, he hasn't really come out and done anything today, has he? He's minus 15. They are when he's on the court. And the ball batted outside to Pierre. Bamforth has it. And the battle for the rebound, and Sean Jones will go back to the line. So Sean Jones takes his time. And again, misses a free throw. So free throw is starting to become a problem for Dinamo Sassari. He makes the second one. The Rebets has it. Actually, no, they're not too bad. 75%, 9 of 12 as a team. And now another turnover gives it back to Dinamo Sassari. And I believe, nope, the call was that he had his left foot out of bounds when he caught it. So unfortunate turnover for Bramho. Again, that's one of these calls that you see more and more these days. Not that much space between the three-point arc and the out-of-bounds line. Pierre goes to work and misses, follows up his shot and scores. Now the drive, and Hilliard misses, follows up his own shot, gets it back, and he will go to the line for a potential three-point play. Off the back of the rim. So just a 5-point lead. Levi Randolph from the top of the key. And then Sean Jones called for the clear out on Zakharov. Zakharov gets the first one to go. And this is the second. Bamforth has it. Up top, now bumped. Dowdle reaches in, and how many is that going to be on Dowdle? Oh. So 2 fouls on him. Second one is good, so up to a 6-point advantage. Zakharov over to Hilliard. Final 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Free throw shooting, you can see, much better for Sassari. And finally, Zakharov gets one to fall. It's been a tough first half for him, but he finally gets one to go, and it's back to a 3-point deficit. Bamforth finds his way in, and then a foul called on Enisey for, it looked like hitting Planinich. Oh, yeah, it was on Dowdle. He called him, going for the ball in the head. 3 fouls on Dowdle, so that's a big call. But I'm guessing it's the right call, because you can see his arm swinging. And Planinich went down like a sack of wheat. He is taking his time. Bends the knees. Textbook free throw by Darko Planinich. And he sinks both, so back to a 5-point lead here, under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Remember, Enisey trailed by 18 points early. Now Zakharov wide open. Offensive rebound, Gudemak sets the pick. Rebets has it. Rebets launches one from deep. And the hustle into the corner. And Devecki chases it down. Now Levi Randolph goes back inside. Devecki. And then Bamforth has his pass knocked away. One too many passes. Zakharov to Gudemak. Oh, beautiful pass to Bramho. Oh, he missed the dunk. He was working hard, and you can't fault him for going up for the dunk. He was trying to make sure of it. He just missed it. It happens. Just put it behind you. Go back and play defense. Look at that. Gudemak takes a seat. 1:50 remaining. And the jump shot by Pierre, no good, but Planinich there for the follow. He misses, and then Pierre goes up and gets it to go. Now the jump shot from Zakharov, no good. Polonara. Sometimes Polonara seems a little bit too unselfish. He's got more to offer out there. Pierre dumps it to Planinich. Oh, beautiful play by Dinamo Sassari. Great pass, great finish. And all the hard work by Enisey Krasnoyarsk to come back. Well, the game's starting to open up again for Dinamo. So Okolov going over the instructions here. So Dowdle hit that long jump shot, part of the comeback. You can see he had his feet both behind the arc. Zakharov nailed that one. That was another look at it, but it's not gone well for them lately, and that was the last basket. You can see with 45 seconds to go here in the first half, that was scored by the team in green, Dinamo Sassari, from the island of Sardinia. They have had a lot of highs and lows in the Basketball Champions League the first couple of seasons. They've certainly been a fun team to watch. And Polinar called for the foul. Fun team to watch for the neutral. Perhaps a little frustrating at times for the Dinamo Sassari faithful. Rebets short. Rebets takes his time and makes the second. Zakharov back into the game here with 30 seconds to go. Dinamo Sassari not able to call on the services of Rok Stipcevic today. He has a minor knee injury, so that's why he's wearing the warm-ups. Not dressed out, but still accompanied the team. Planic, he's been going to work. Oh, it turns, beautiful move. Doesn't finish, however, and good hustle from Bramho to get in there. Look at this. They had the mismatch, and Planic just didn't finish. They had the right move. Another timeout called by Pasquini. They want to get some points here before the break. Boy, when they go down on the low blocks, they're getting some looks. Pierre with the 12 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's having a game to remember, isn't he?
Команда Dinamo Sassari Италия использовала тайм-ауты первой половины матча.
So Dyson Pierre leading Dinamo Sassari right now. He played for Canada at the FIBA AmeriCup this year. Final seconds ticking off the clock. Bamforth gets the pick. Planic rolls. Bamforth gets in the lane. Gets it back. And he is blocked. And, you know, obviously the plan was to get the ball to Planic, but it looked like Bamforth had a shot if he wanted to take it. In the end, he got the shot blocked, and Dinamo Sassari have to trudge to the locker rooms leading 42-34. So the shooting numbers, much better again from Dinamo Sassari, as you might expect, and they've also had a lot more trips to the free throw line. They're 12 of 16 at the stripe, just 5 of 8 for Enisey Krasnoyarsk, and Dinamo Sassari out rebounding Enisey, just a little, as well as out assisting them, if those are words. And both teams have 12 fouls. Just 6 turnovers for Dinamo Sassari, 5 for Enisey. Remember, this Dinamo Sassari team led by 18 points. Took a while for Enisey Krasnoyarsk to get it going, but they were able to claw it all the way back. I think it was 3 points. And Dinamo Sassari have been able to open up an 8-point lead here right before halftime. So we're at the break. We'll be right back.
Марка спису номер нулевой, первый фол.
Это будет шоу «Фармакопоры» и лидерские музыканты на льду. Очень классное традиционное шоу, которое проходит в Енисее каждый год. И вот мы первый билет на это шоу дали самому маленькому, самому крошечному, сейчас его подождем, двухлетнему болельщику. Еще раз напоминаю, друзья, Илья Муха Кибер представляет новые бременские музыканты на льду. И
42-34, it's Dinamo Sassari on top of Enisey Krasnoyarsk. And a team that, Dinamo team that was up 18 points, saw that lead whittled down to 3 points, but then they were able to go back in front by 8 points at halftime. So fans hoping that Enisey can turn things around here, get a win, which would be priceless in their attempt to get into the top 4 and to get into the playoffs. And both of these teams coming into this contest at 2-4. Levi Randolph getting some stretching done here before the second half. Of course, Pierre has been outstanding with 12 points, 6 rebounds. Also has 3 assists for Dinamo Sassari. They're plus 14 when he's on the court. Bamforth as well. That's 4 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Darko Planinic has been very effective. And referees just making sure they're on the same page here before we start things off here in the second half.
Агрессивное в шоу сыграли и обратно. На игроках остается, не меняемся просто так. С дальней стороны аут, пик-н-ролл. Помочь аут, пик-н-ролл можно помогать. И потом возврат в свои. Все остальное только фейк.
So Dinamo Sassari went into the international break with a win, and they're hoping to come out of it with a win. Remember their last game back on November 15th, they played at home and they beat Unet Holon 98-84. That was game day 6. This is game day 7. And it's also the first of 3 road games for Dinamo Sassari in the Basketball Champions League. Next week, they will be at Pinar Karšiaka. And then right before Christmas, right before the holiday break, they will be at EV Baskets Oldenburg. So maybe have a chance to go to the Christmas market while they're in Oldenburg, Germany, famous for the Christmas markets. It's going to be Bamforth, Polonara, Sean Jones, Pierre, all starting here in the second half for Dinamo Sassari, as well as Devecki. It's going to be Hilliard, Zavaruev, Zakharov, Bremho, and Pavlov in. It's going to be Gudamak, excuse me. Ljudic, Bremho, Hilliard, and Dowdell in for Enisey. And also the starting 5 for Dinamo Sassari is Bamforth, Pierre, Sean Jones, William Hatcher, and Polonara. Now, one thing you want to keep an eye on is the foul trouble. There's a little bit of foul trouble in this game. Dowdell has 3 fouls. He just makes the pass, turns over into the hands of Bamforth. Hilliard stops the break with his second foul. And for Dinamo Sassari, 3 fouls already on William Hatcher. Bamforth gets it to Sean Jones, and the defense was waiting that time. Not sure if he was trying to make a pass or go up for the shot. Dowdell hands it back to Bremho. Gudamak, a little hard. Ljudic goes for the rebound, and the ball ends up with Bamforth. And
now a block called on Gudemak. William Hatcher passes it over to Pierre. Might like his chances with this matchup against Liudis. No, he's going to pass it over to Hatcher. Polinar in the right corner. Hatcher drives in, flings up a left-handed shot, and Sean Jones there for the offensive rebound and put back. Now the shot clock seems to have gone off. Now it's on. Ten-point lead for Dinamo Sassari. And Bramho puts it off the back of the iron. Hasn't really had the game that he's accustomed to having today. Just 5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 of 8 from the floor. Sean Jones gets inside with the left hand and again meets some resistance. He was having a lot of joy with that early in the game, but twice now he hasn't had any success. Bramho called for the offensive foul, kind of lowered his shoulder. Watch this. And went hard right at Hatcher. So his struggles continue. Ellis now comes back into the game. I thought we had 2 fouls on Ellis, including an unsportsmanlike, but there's only 1 foul listed in the box score. Anyway, Bamforth short with that. And now Liudis out-hustles Dinamo to the ball, puts it up and in. Good hustle play. And you can see Pasquini with his arms wide open. How in the world did we get beat to the loose ball? Boy, nothing like easy points to get a team back into a game. Hatcher. Oh, takes a difficult shot and hits it. 3-pointer for William Hatcher. He wants to start making an impact in this game, and he takes it back to an 11-point lead. And inside it goes to Ellis. Bamforth back to Polonara. Puts it on the deck. Oh, ends up taking a tough shot. How in the world did he make that? Didn't seem to have that much elevation, but stayed up just long enough to get rid of the ball, and then he scored it. He banked it. Hilliard for 3. Jones with the board. Gets it to Hatcher. Now Bamforth penetrates, gets it to Jones, and Jones goes up, scores, and draws the foul. Look at that replay. And then he looked like he brings out the muscle show. Ellis makes the free throw. So, excuse me, Jones makes the free throw, and now 6 of 9 at the stripe. Dowdle whips his pass inside to Bramho. Not sure what he's saying don't do it for. Bremo a little bit frustrated today. Gets it inside. It gets rejected by Polonara. And he says, goodness me, where did that come from? Polonara on the SWAT team with that one. Timed his jump to perfection. He's made a couple big plays here in the third quarter. The young Italy international. Hatcher misses and Bremo collects the rebound. 14 points the advantage for Dinamo Sassari. Bremo gets inside, follows up his shot. Polonara with another rebound. And now a technical foul, I believe, is going to be called. No, there's going to be a foul in transition. So Bremo comes out of the game. And was it his foul? That's the question. Still waiting. Bamforth goes to the line. Yeah, I think it was a technical foul called on Bremo. Yeah, it was. Okay, I thought there was, and then there seemed to be no indication on the court. He was frustrated. You could see it, and Bamforth misses the free throw. So Bremo not having his way today, and that just kind of adds to his frustration without question. He's now got 2 fouls. And he takes a seat on the bench. Polonara hands it off to Hatcher. Beautiful bounce pass, and Sean Jones goes in for another two-handed flush. And the lead just continues to grow for Dinamo Sassari. Shot clock ticking down. Now Hilliard has it. Hilliard tries to split the D, gets inside, puts it up, and scores. Polonara trying to post up and stolen away by Pavlov. Hilliard. You see the sense of urgency in his play. Hands it off to Ljudic. Ljudic, jump shot. Good. Back to a 12-point deficit. Bamforth has it. Inside to Jones. And Ellis knocks it out of Jones's hands. You can feel the momentum swinging ever so slightly, and that foul is called before the shot. And Ellis asking for an unsportsmanlike to be called just as it was called on him. Spisu comes in for Hatcher. This could be you feel the momentum right back with the home side, and we'll see what they can do with it. Sean Jones goes out. He's been rather menacing in this third quarter for Dinamo Sassari. He goes to the bench, having scored 16 points and grabbed 6 rebounds. He also has a block. Ljudic takes it right at Bamforth. They pass it around. Rebec hands it off to Ellis, and he draws the foul. Great play by Ellis. Hung in the air, took the contact. So the foul called on Polonara. So he's got 4 points today, but he does not make the free throw. How big will those misses be by the end of the game? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Bamforth has it. Bamforth hasn't really controlled the game like he's capable of today. Spisu misses, but Bamforth there sneaks in, gets the offensive rebound and scores. Never seems to take a bad shot, Scott Bamforth, I have to say. Pass whipped into the corner to Ljudic, and he goes down and earns a trip to the free throw line for 3 free throws. He looked to have exaggerated the movement just a little bit. Watch this. I mean, he got hit in the arm, and he went down like a sack of wheat. I think probably the exaggerated movement, the fall, was just to try to stress to the referee, putting more pressure on him to make the call. I think he was going to make the call anyway because he saw him get hit on the arm. He misses the second one. Oh, misses 2 out of 3. You talk about not capitalizing. Boy, it's been a nightmare for Enisey Krasnoyarsk at the free throw line. Just 6 of 12. Now Pierre spins, goes back, and takes it all the way. Could have handed it to Planinic, but Pierre felt confident to finish, and he did. Rebec goes between his legs. Ljudic short. Ellis couldn't quite get the rebound. Polonara from 3. And almost a travel after colliding with his own teammate, Pavlov. Ljudic goes in, scores with a, nope, he misses the reverse layup. Could be time for him to sit down. And heads up play by Spisu to throw it off of Pavlov. So final 2 minutes of the third quarter. And Ljudic has indeed gone out. So Pavlov with the rebound. Excuse me, Zavarev. And now a 3-point shot is good from Hilliard. And gets it back to a 10-point game. Offensive foul and another opportunity. The foul called on Planinic. Boy, turnarounds can happen very quickly. Setting the pick. Rebec went down hard. Rebec goes to work on Spisu and then dribbles off his foot. I'll put a, if he had any hair, that would put some more gray ones on there for Coach Okolov, but certainly will make you age quicker as a coach when your point guard dribbles it off his foot. Thatcher hands it off to Levi Randolph. Planinic kind of held up by Hilliard. He thinks he can post him. He's got it. Planinic gets inside. Oh boy, that was a strong move. And Ellis was bearing down from behind like he was going to swat him. And Planinic just was not bothered in the least. And he just went up strong. That was a big move by him. Rebets bounce pass. And the ball goes back to Dinamo Sassari with 12 seconds remaining. Good job. Levi Randolph went straight up. So final seconds ticking off the clock. Is Hatcher going to take it? Nope. He's going to bounce pass to, oh, and Planinic missed the layup. Will that count? I don't think so. So another missed opportunity for Dinamo Sassari right at the end. However, they are on top 60-48 after 3. You see Dinamo Sassari trying to keep their emotions running high here. It's a chance to get a big win. They're shooting it above 50% inside the arc, 45% from deep, 72% at the free throw line. And they're out rebounding Enisey, 29-19. But Enisey do have the prospects of a comeback here. You know, everything can go horribly wrong for a team in 10 minutes. And Dinamo Sassari will be fully cognizant of that fact. Remember, Enisey fell behind early, trailed by 18 points. Now they've battled, there's no doubt about it. Late in the second quarter, in fact, they got it back to within 3 points. But since that time, Dinamo Sassari have gone back in front and been somewhat comfortably ahead by 10 points. And now it's just a matter of whether or not they can finish the job on the road and again get a priceless road win. So fourth quarter action underway in Russia. Oh, Spisu raised his left forearm, and that's what the referee saw. His right forearm. Hatcher in the game with the 3 fouls. Spisu, Bamforth getting a rest. Hilliard, cross court to Dowdle. Dowdle, strong move and draws the foul. And once again, it's on Planinic. Stepped in just a little too late. Dowdle's been good value for money today. Planinic has to leave the court. So 4 fouls for him. And quite a few players for Dinamo on 3 fouls. Spisu, Jones, Hatcher, and Polonara. And the 3-point play gets it back to a single-digit deficit, 9 points. Jones has it back to Polonara. Oh, puts up a deep 3. Not a great offense that time. Unfortunately, ball bounces out to Scott Bamforth. Polonara this time feet set, misses. Sean Jones went up for it, couldn't corral it. Ball goes back over to the home side. Zavarua still in there. Hilliard launches the three. Sean Jones with the rebound. And you see Pasquini wants to quicken the tempo. He thinks that Dinamo Sassari can be a little bit more effective if they're pushing it quickly. Hatcher. This pass goes out of bounds, intended for Levi Randolph. Well, the time is now for Enisey if they're going to have a comeback. Bramo. Oh, Bramo. Goodness me, his difficult day continues. He turns it over. Bamforth pulls up on the break. And now a chance to run, or at least come back for Enisey. Zavaruev, number 12 now. Almost a turnover. Ellis gets it. And Dowdle drives in, puts up a tough shot. Both players chasing after the ball. Ellis comes in, not able to get there in time. And Ellis reaches around and catches the Dinamo player in the face with his left hand. Hatcher hands it off with the ball knocked away, and then Hatcher runs into Dowdle, so that's 4 fouls on Hatcher. Dowdle brought about Bamforth. Intriguing matchup. Now the pick comes from Ellis. Dowdle's going to go hard. He's going to pass it. Hilliard, shot clock winding down, puts up a runner. And the ball over to Dinamo. Bamforth has it. Back outside. An offensive foul called on Sean Jones now. Battling with Ellis down low. That's 4 fouls on him. So long way to go, 7 minutes. And foul trouble for Dinamo Sassari, most certainly. Can they hold on? DeVecchi into the game, number 8. Hilliard drives in. Oh, the ball doesn't go in, much to his chagrin. Bamforth, look at that off the one. Oh, that's going to be goal interference. Nope, it's going to be a foul. Are they going to count it? So the foul on Dowdle for grabbing. So Bamforth goes to the line for 2. It's somewhat of a quiet game offensively for Bamforth. But here he is, 6.5 minutes to go. Ball in his hands, goes to the line, and makes 2. Now, Ludic back in the game. Pavlov for 3. Ludic gets the rebound. And his miss, his teammates follow, and it's Ludic in the end who I think gets the putback. That one play there just tells you that Enisey are not going away. It's going to be a tough finish perhaps for Dinamo. Bamforth Drives, misses. And Pasquini asks for a timeout, the next dead ball. Dowdle. Hope these home fans saw that great comeback against Juventus Utena. So 7 seconds on the shot clock. It'll be Enisey Krasnoyarsk ball. 5.5 minutes remaining. Again, plenty of time for the team in white. So back into the game, Planinic, he's got the 4 fouls. 4 fouls on Planinic, 4 fouls on Jones. Shot clock winding down. Hilliard, wide open jumper. And Planinic skies for the rebound. Also 4 fouls on Hatcher. As for Enisey, they can ill afford to lose Dowdle. He's got 4 fouls. Although right now he's on the bench just catching his breather before he comes back in. Levi Randolph. And he was fouled by Pavlov. Late in the shot clock. So DeVecchi comes out of the game and Hatcher comes back in. Remember, 2-4 teams going for a very important win here. Bamforth hits the jump shot. Inside, and Gudemak misses, but the follow there from Hilliard. Timed his jump to perfection. Hilliard comes up to get the explanation on the foul. Trying to fight through the screen, pushed off on Bamforth. So it's going to be Pierre back in the game, going to inbound it. Polinar also back in the game. Now Pierre trying to post up on Zavaruev. And he puts up a tough shot. Oh, he scored. How in the world? That was a tough finish. And Pierre did that indeed. Enisey, if they'd only started better, instead of falling into that 18-0 hole. Three-pointer is good from Zavaruev. Now an 8-point game. 3.5 minutes remaining. Bamforth penetrates back outside. Hatcher open. And a foul on the box out, I believe, on Zavaruev. Well, didn't really see it there. But yeah, something to do with Planinic on the rebound. Maybe he pushed before that. So Planinic, more good from bad from him today. And he takes the free throw and makes it. So Pasquini knows this thing is a long way from being over. Just 1 of 2 for Planinic. 9-point lead for Sassari. Dowdle back in the game with the 4 fouls. Ljudic, Zavaruev, Hilliard is in the game, as well as Ellis. And the dump on is stolen by Pierre. He's made a lot of big plays offensively tonight, and that was a huge play defensively. He's got 16 points, 8 rebounds, Pierre. And his efficiency rating is up there. He's at 24, and Bamforth hits the deuce. Back to an 11-point lead for Dinamo Sassari. So Enisey called timeout. Listen to this line from Dachon Pierre, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And he's played a lot of minutes as well, 34 minutes and 40 seconds. And here he is. I mean, that is a tough shot. He used the backboard. He knew exactly where he was, and then we saw Bamforth follow that with that jump shot. And these are 2 huge plays. So Dinamo Sassari, remember they got out to the 18-point lead in the first quarter, ended up with a 26-15 lead at the end of 1. They've come here looking for a 3rd victory in the Basketball Champions League this season. And they've come up against an Enisey Krasnoyarsk team that hasn't gone away, team that also needs its 3rd win, but the clock now becoming the enemy of Enisey. But it is a team that has staged a late fight back before this season. They've beaten Juventus Utrecht, having trailed by 21 points. Now, Ellis gets it inside and draws the foul. He would have preferred a 3-point play opportunity, but instead he goes to the line for 2. So that is it for Planinic. 5 fouls on him. Ellis and misses another free throw. And this is a big problem for Enisey Krasnoyarsk, shooting right around 50% for the game from the free throw line. They're losing by 11, and they've missed 7 free throws. Pierre. Nope, they've missed 8 free throws. Hatcher, little pump fake, steps to his right. That's good. 71-58. And right now, Dinamo Sassari easing to victory. It's going to take something special from Enisey. Dowdle takes the contact, hands it off to Ellis. And again, doesn't finish and has to settle for a couple of free throws. And he just missed a couple. Well, to be fair, it's understandable how he missed that because Polonara fouled him. And I believe that's his 5th foul. 5th. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's his 4th. And Ellis's woes from the line continue. Now 0 of 5 at the free throw line. There's nothing more uncomfortable than watching a player miss free throws. Like now, that he had a good release on that one, a good stroke. Alexander Pavlov back in for Ellis. Minute and a half to go. 12-point lead for Dinamo Sassari. Surely it's a winning position for them. Hilliard pushes it. Ljudic, quick three for him. And the miss, Sean Jones. And the foul, diving in for the ball, is on Dowdle. He has fouled out of the game. Well, it was a foul that was committed because he was hustling for the ball. I mean, he leaves this game with some credit for me. I think Dowdle has played really hard today. 12 points, 4 assists. Surprisingly, just 1 rebound. He's 5 of the 7 from the floor. And he's got an efficiency rating of plus 14. Now Hatcher misses the free throw. Remember, these free throw misses leave the door open for a comeback. So, disappointment for Zabin Dowdle. And Ljudic takes it. Zavaruev, good three-pointer. 72-62, 10 points, the difference. And timeout. Timeout called by Dinamo Sassari. You know, and that might just, you could argue that that would help Enisey Krasnoyarsk. It stops the play, stops the clock, and allows them to set up perhaps some pressure. But he wants to make sure he's got the right plays. He wants to make sure his players know how to finish this game. So Pasquini wanted to make the most of this timeout. Hatcher, well, they called the timeout, then they turn it over. And again, and then the quick pass by Ljudic, trying to get it to Pavlov, and it goes out of bounds. Look at this. Right off of his head. And I think he was trying to pass out to the wing. Zavaruev called for the foul on Bamforth. So Bamforth's number is going up here late. He now has 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. And 14 points. Hatcher comes up and commits the foul on Zakharov. And that is it. So he has to go. So that stops the clock. Zakharov goes to the line, makes the first one. And this is the second. So Dinamo have it. trying to take time off the clock now. That's the mission. Enisey do not want to foul. Sean Jones over to Polonara. Hilliard has it. Liudic back to Zakharov. And Zakharov tries to bank it in. Now Pierre. And Dinamo Sassari will want to get some points here at the end, and they will after the foul that's been called on Enisey. So a tough season has become a little bit tougher for Enisey. They had that famous come-from-behind win over Juventus Utena, but today, even though they clawed back an 18-point deficit to 3 points in the first half, they've been distinctly second best against Dinamo Sassari, and Dachon Pierre has been terrific, and I'm sure he will be in the conversation for the team of the week. That's how good he's been, in my opinion. Have to measure him up against some of the other candidates, but 17 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 26 efficiency rating. Zakharov goes down, gets another 2, and that's how it finishes. 75-65. Dinamo Sassari improved to 3-4 in Group A, and Enisey Krasnoyarsk dropped to 2-5. So all smiles over there at the Dinamo Sassari bench. They win it by 10. Their shooting numbers superior, although just 5 makes from 3-point range. 39 rebounds to 27 for Enisey. And ultimately, you just have to put the ball in the basket, which is something they did with more frequency. And, you know, you lose by 10 points, as Enisey Krasnoyarsk did, and then you look at the box score, and you've made 9 of 19 free throws. That means you've missed 10 free throws. Well, just illustrates how important those free throws are. Hilliard with 13 points. Ellis had the 2 steals, but it was a tough day at the office for him. Well, the mascot came ready today. I don't think Enisey did, though, until the second quarter. That was when they started to turn things around. That was a difficult shot made by Polonara, where I thought maybe he didn't have enough hang time, but he did. Dowdle got the ball to Ellis for the jam. And Pasquini was coaching his socks off today. Didn't want to let this one get away once they got up. It was never comfortable, to be honest. Maybe the last 15 seconds, it finally felt like, yeah, this is in the books tonight. This is for us. And Pierre, that was one of his highlights, and then Planic picked up one of his 5 fouls. Planic was effective. The bigs were good for Dinamo Sassari. Planic had 11 points. Pierre had 17. You consider him a big. And Sean Jones had 16 points. So it was you know, a lot of their success came down low. There's Sean Jones battling for the ball. So again, this is the first of 3 consecutive road games for Dinamo Sassari in the Basketball Champions League. They've taken care of business here in Russia. Now they'll go back home
and get ready for the next game in Italy before Dinamo Sassari hit the road and play in Izmir, Turkey against Enisey Krasnoyarsk. And the following week, right before the holidays, on December 20th, they will be at EV Baskets Oldenburg. For Enisey, after this, they have a home game next week against EV Baskets Oldenburg, and then they will travel to Spain to play UCAM Murcia. So that's it, folks. These are the Group A standings. After that result, you could see Dinamo Sassari now, just like UCAM Murcia, 3 and 4. Juventus Utena and Hapoel Holon and Enisey Krasnoyarsk are all 2 and 5. Their seasons aren't done and dusted, but they've got a lot of work to do. Anyway, that's it from Russia. Thanks for watching, folks. The Basketball Champions League. Many more games coming your way tonight. Be sure to tune in.